City mayor floated plans to have migrants be housed with residents. Is that something the administration would support? And if that ends up becoming necessary, would that be a poor reflection on the administration's ability to manage this?
So I haven't seen those reports. I kind of saw some chyrons on the cable news network, I think yours, coming out to the podium. As you know, there is more than $200 million in funding that has gone to these interior cities. A majority of that has gone to New York City, but just not going to speak to the mayor's policies. I just don't know enough about it to speak to it at this time.
And the retirements upcoming, the border chief and the ICE chief, is that going to impact the administration's ability to manage the border in the near term?
So look, from what I understand, their retirements has been planned for some time now, and so I'm just going to leave that piece to them, and certainly they can speak to their retirement. What I can speak to is what we have seen these past couple of weeks since Title 42 has been lifted. We've seen legal migration go down significantly, and that's because of the plan that this president has put forward. You think about diplomacy, you think about deterrence, you think about making sure that we're expanding legal pathways. That's what the president and his administration has been able to do, and that's why we have seen such a decline at the border. And I think that speaks to the president's leadership and what he's been able to do with his team, and I think that's incredibly important.
Good, Steve. Real quick, though.
You said at the top that there's nothing in the Constitution that prevents Medicare from negotiating. The lawyers for Merck are arguing that it violates the Fifth Amendment, the Takings Clause. The First Amendment is too coercive. Do you have a specific response to those arguments?
I don't have a response to that. I've been very clear that it is in the Constitution to do what it is that we're moving forward with. This is a piece of legislation clearly that was passed. The president signed into law. We have equity at everything that we do, and that we have an economy that grows from the middle up and the bottom up. Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you there, Ms. Ryan. So first, I want to wish a very happy birthday. I'm going to embarrass him right now. Justin Sink, happy birthday. Happy 21st birthday. Don't look a day over 21. So happy birthday, my friend. And I also want to congratulate Scott. Scott, this is your last day, so we'll have us join. As you know, we don't have a lot of time because the president's going to be holding his cabinet meeting, so I'm sure Kirby will be as brief as he can and take as many questions as he can. Thanks, Kirby.
I was struck by the divergence, if you will, in your comments and those from President Biden on the subject. You came to this room and you pleaded with all of us not to publish this material, even if we came into possession of it, presumably because of the damage it would cause. And in fact, even in court filings in the ongoing prosecution, federal prosecutors are referring to the great damage caused and the potential for greater damage. And yet we saw President Biden say that there was nothing of great consequence in these leaks. How could that be true?
I still would make the same point I made before. We would urge you not to publish this material. We don't think that this material belongs in the public domain. That said, the more we have come to learn over time, and this is what the president was referring to, is that much of the information that's out there, and I say this with the caveat, James, that I still don't think we know for sure that there isn't more coming. But what we've seen thus far, now weeks afterward, it's a snapshot in time, a very distinct period of time, 6-8 weeks worth. And certainly events and follow-on intelligence assessments have simply moved on from where those assessments were, those ones that were published. The other thing I'd say is that many of them were based on unfinished intelligence. It's no different than, in many ways, the way you guys do your